Good afternoon and welcome to University of Boya, Faculty of Education, Department of Educational Foundations and Administration, major program Educational Leadership and Management. Under the course Educational Under the course EDL 402, Current Issues Affecting Education in Cameroon, we are doing a presentation on the topic Current Issues Affecting Educational Leadership in Cameroon. And on our presentation, we shall be looking at factors that affect educational leadership in Cameroon. And after the factors that affecting educational leadership in Cameroon, we shall also look at policy orientations affecting education in Cameroon from pre-nursery, nursery, primary, secondary, uh, tertiary, and higher education. Then, as we forge ahead, we shall bring to you first the objectives and key definitions of our presentation. First, we shall look at the objectives of our presentation. At the end of this presentation, we shall be expecting each listener or learner to be able to define what a policy is, to define educational policy, to define educational leadership, and be able to to identify factors affecting educational leadership in Cameroon, and also to give a brief note on the various policy orientations that affect education in the primary, pre-nursery, secondary, tertiary, and higher education. Now, as we forge ahead, we shall be bringing to you the definitions of keywords or key terms that on the plate on the presentation that we bring to you. First, we shall look at a policy. A policy is a law, a regulation, procedure, administrative action, incentives or voluntary practices of government and other institutions to bring about order in an institution or in a country. Second, we shall look at what is educational leadership. Educational leadership here is a procedure of enlisting and guiding the talents and energies of teachers, pupils, students, and parents towards achieving common goals of that educational institution. Then we shall also look at educational policy, which consists of the principles and government policies in the educational sphere, as well as the collection of law and rules that governs the operation of educational system in Cameroon. As we forge ahead, we shall be looking at now the issues affecting educational leadership in Cameroon. And the issues affecting educational leadership in Cameroon, you have demographic issues affecting educational leadership, and these demographic issues talks about the number of people accessing education in the various levels of education in Cameroon. That is primary, secondary, tertiary, and higher education. Then we also look at economic issues affecting education in Cameroon is another big factor that's affecting education in Cameroon. We shall also look at resource issue, and we shall look at cultural aspects affecting educational leadership, aspects like violence, multiculturalism, political instability, and language. All of these factors are factors that affect educational leadership in Cameroon. And as we continue with the presentation, my colleague is coming in with policy orientations at the primary, secondary, and tertiary and higher education as we forge ahead with the presentation. Thank you.
Greetings everybody, my name is Bisangena Blessing and I'm here to talk on policy orientation in the nursery and primary educational system in Cameroon. The nursery education lasts for 2 years while the primary education lasts for 6 years. The nursery education, according to Decree number 76/281 of June 1972, the nursery education was brought under the Ministry of Basic Education in Cameroon. Alright, during the President Paul Biya address to the nation on 11th of February 2010, he declared free primary education in government schools. This has been 13 years since instituted free primary education in the nation in order to meet up with one of the Millennium Development Goals. Alright, policy orientation in primary education. According to Decree number 806/B1/1505 of 20th September 2005 on the organization of primary education, it goes that primary education shall have 3 levels. Level 1, that's class 1 and class 2. The learners must acquire basic knowledge. At level 2, that's class 3 and 4, the learners must master the techniques in solving problems. At level 3, that's class 5 and class 6, the learners must be able to acquire the basic knowledge and use the knowledge in solving recent problems. According to Article 4 of the same law, the learners must use the competency-based approach. Thank you very much for listening to my video. I hope you learned something.
The principles and policy decisions that influence the field of education, as well as the collection of laws and rules that govern the operation of educational system. While educational leadership is the process of enlisting and guiding the talents and energies of teachers, students, and parents towards achieving common educational aims. To begin with, policy orientation in secondary and technical education in Cameroon. The Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Naloa Lyonga, in the school year 2017/2018, picked up the theme of second generation secondary education for the training of citizens capable of promoting bilingualism, multiculturalism, and living together. Such an orientation, already expressed in Article 15 of Law Number 98/004 of 14 April 1998 on the orientation of education in Cameroon, meet our firm determinations to engage our learners in the culture of civic values and guarantee of a Cameroon proud of its diversity, its rich cultural heritage, and by taking great advantage of the harmony between its children. Through the term bilingualism, multiculturalism, and living together, this theme reflects our determination to promote the spirits of tolerance, to inculcate knowledge, know-how, that is, a culture, a civic and moral conscience to our learners, so that our school carries out better than before all its mission. This school must therefore prepare all students to be responsible citizens, able to contribute to the development of a democratic, united, and pluralistic society open to all cultures.